Griesner from Creston, and I was one of the early endorsers of Senator Biden in his bid for the Democratic nomination for president. And this morning, we have some more news that we'd like to pass on to you. And welcome to the great state of Iowa, the capital of our great state, and to introduce to you a few folks who want to make a few remarks about Senator Biden. First, I'd ask Representative Doris Kelly to come forward.
Thank you, and thank you very much for being here today. I too am supporting Senator Biden, but let me explain to you why I'm doing this. Every few years throughout Western history, we have a sharp transformation that takes place. And within just a few decades, our country totally reorganizes itself. And those children that are born into the world at this time actually have no idea what the world was like that their grandparents grew up in or that their parents were born into. And we're going through such a transition. So as I think about that, we need a leader that has the experience to walk us through that transition. Someone that has played a pivotal role in shaping the U.S.'s foreign policy. And Senator Biden has been able to do that. He is not only respected here, but he's respected nationally. We're going to need strong leadership as we move forward. Strong leadership. We need somebody that is a student of history, someone that clearly understands what it's going to take to move us into this new transition so that we can prosper and so that we can, again, be respected nationally and abroad. So that is the reason I am endorsing Senator Biden. I think he's that person. I think he has the experience to take us where we need to go. Thank you.
Next, we'd like to have the Majority Leader in the Iowa House of Representatives, Representative Kevin McCarthy of Des Moines.
Good morning.
Good morning.
President Powers. I'm very proud to endorse Senator Biden this morning. And let me just give you my reasons and a little bit of my opinion on the state of political play here in Iowa for the caucuses. First of all, this presidential campaign is all about Iraq. We make no mistake about it. Iraq is the #1 issue facing this country and facing the world. When you look at the candidates that are running in terms of their experience, their ability to hit the ground running, and their wherewithal to be able to find some sort of political solution to the chaos that we are in, there's really only one choice. It's Senator Joe Biden. I mean, that's just abundantly clear. You know, you hear folks say, gosh, you know, wouldn't Senator Biden make an excellent Secretary of State? Well, given that Iraq is the #1 issue facing this country, and it will be for the next few years, wouldn't it be nice to have a President of the United States smarter than his Secretary of State? President Bush has failed us, has failed this country. We cannot believe what he says, and we need to have someone in the White House willing to tell the truth to the American people. Senator Biden has demonstrated during this campaign that we need to end this war, but we need to do it in a way that goes beyond political pandering and helps us prevent this from becoming a regional war a generation from now. And he has that plan. Let's talk about the polls for a second. What about these horse race polls that we see that the media puts out? First of all, polls at this stage, people are starting to pay attention, but polls at this stage are basically a snapshot among an electorate that's not yet paying attention. Okay? If we recall 4 years ago, Iowa, at this time, what? It was going to be a battle between Dick Gephardt and maybe Howard Dean, who was the national frontrunner, and the foregone conclusion to be our nominee, whether he could take out Gephardt in Iowa. That was the state of the political play at this time. Senator John Edwards, in contrast, couldn't break 4% in a single caucus poll until 2 weeks before the election. Senator Biden was in 5% in the last 3 polls that I saw. There is a groundswell of infrastructure, caucus scores that are signing on in this campaign. I sense movement. I sense energy. When you have Iraq as the #1 issue, and you have your candidate that's the most competent on that issue, things are going to move. And I'm very encouraged by the state of political play with this campaign moving forward for the Iowa caucuses. I'm very proud to endorse Senator Biden. I think he would be the best president of the United States. And as I said in my press release, I said I also like the guy. So.
Well, it's mutual. I like the guy too. You know, Doris, thank you very, very much for your endorsement, and thank you for your support and your counsel. And Mike, you bounced around the state with me and had me in your home district, and it's been a great pleasure for me. And Molly, I want to thank you as well. You've been with me for a long time, and I appreciate it. And Phyllis Ewing, who is up here as well, I served very briefly with her dad, who was Senator Hughes, former Governor Hughes, one of the finest people I ever served with, really and truly, in my entire career. What a powerful intellect, powerful voice he was. And we sure could use his voice right now. And let me say that, the endorsement today of the majority leader is, quite frankly, a big deal. It's a big deal for anyone who would get that endorsement, and it's particularly important to me because it underscores what we've been saying for a long time, that in fact this race is absolutely wide open. The vast majority of the people, not only in Iowa, but the vast majority of the people in all of the early primary states in the nation have not made up their mind yet. They have not come close to making up their mind. And it's such an honor to have the majority leader's endorsement because his leadership has been so evident right here in this magnificent dome building. Think what has changed under the leadership of he and his colleagues in the last just year since he orchestrated the takeover of the Democratic Party of the United States, of the state House of Representatives, along with his colleagues in the Senate. There has been genuine innovation. They've kept their promises. They state what they were going to do, and they've done it. And his leadership ability in my campaign has had a catalyzing impact on it. He has been a great friend, and he has been a great advisor. He's the kind of guy who is not only smart and tough, but he's honorable as can be. He's the kind of leader that I hope I will be as President of the United States of America. Someone who says exactly what he's going to do, does everything in my power to get it done, and in fact is able to reach across the aisle and get people of different political persuasions to join us. Because the truth of the matter is, every single problem we have in this country lends itself to the requirement of a consensus. There are no 51% solutions. And I believe at the end of the day, one of the major issues for the people of Iowa to consider me and the other candidates is our electability nationwide. How are we going to be able to compete, not just here in the Iowa caucuses, which I'm confident we will do very well, but how will we be able to compete throughout the nation? Will we be able to go into those 30 states we consistently lost the last 8 years and be able to generate genuine support and have an opportunity to compete in 15 of those states? Because, ladies and gentlemen, if we cannot change the dynamics in those 30 states, we are not going to be able to, once elected, even if elected, be able to govern this country. You cannot govern this country merely by winning the same 20 states plus one. That will give you enough electoral votes, but it will not give you the mandate you need to be able to get national health insurance. It will not give you the mandate you need in order to be able to fundamentally change our educational system. It will not give you the mandate you need in order to deal with global warming. And maybe most urgently, it will not give you the consensus and mandate you need to end this god-awful war, put in place a rational foreign policy that literally makes America safer.